Assalamu alaikum. You're listening to atiyah on Ramadan Radio Wolverhampton on 89.7 FM. Welcome to the Mental Health and Emotional Wellbeing Show. I'd like to begin with a dua that most of us may be able to relate to during these difficult times. O Allah, you are my Rabb. There is none worthy of worship beside you. I rely upon you, and you are the owner of the mighty Arsh, the throne. Whatever Allah has wished and has happened, and whatever Allah has not wished will certainly not happen. There is no power or might except from Allah, the Most High, the Great. I am aware that Allah has power over everything, and verily the knowledge of Allah has power, encircles everything. O Allah, I seek refuge in you from the evil of myself and from the evil of the living upon whom you have control. Verily, my Rabb is on the right path. Ameen. You're listening to atiyah on Ramadan Radio Wolverhampton. You can listen to us online, www.ramadanradiowolves.com, and you can also download our app on google.com. You can get in touch with the show by WhatsApp on 077 440 420 432. That's 077 440 420 432. Now, looking after your emotional well-being is important, and everyone's mental health matters. If you feel distressed or need to speak to someone regarding your mental health, we have on our website links to well-recognised organisations that you can get in touch with for further support or information. In most areas, mental health teams have adapted services to support the needs of local communities. It is my understanding that the Black Country Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust has launched a support line for adults, older adults and young children and young people. So children and young people requiring urgent mental health support during this COVID-19 pandemic. The support line is open, accessible throughout the night and day. It is open 24/7, and you can call them on 0345 646 0827. I repeat, the number for the helpline is 0345 646 0827. This helpline, I believe, is available for people within Wolverhampton, Sandwell, Dudley and Walsall. So for those of you requiring support in different areas, I'm pretty sure there will be something similar in your area. You can ask your GP or local pharmacist about this. The Black Country Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust are telling us to please not suffer in silence. If you are experiencing increased distress or anxiety during these uncertain times, pick up the phone and speak to the line of their specialist mental health professionals who will be with you, who will be able to support you. Again, the number for this helpline is 0345 646 0827. I will mention this number again later in the show. You can also find it via our website on www.radioramadanwolves.com. Let's now go to a nasheed. I'll join you on the other side to tell you a bit about the show today. Please stay tuned. Bear with this, that track does not seem to be working. So the track I'm going to play for you is Mahar Said, Guide Me All the Way.
know that you could easily take away everything you've given me. And I try to remember not to take anything for granted, 'cause I know that one day suddenly this will all come to an end. So my last wish is for you to be pleased with me. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, ya Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you by my side. I wish to be close to you throughout my life. Ya Allah, oh Allah, be with me all the way. I know that sometimes I do forget that my next breath could be the last. Forgive me, 'cause I can't thank you enough. Forgive me when I doubt your love. Now I pray for that day when all this stops and comes to an end. So my last wish is for you to be pleased with me. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, ya Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you by my side. I wish to be close to you throughout my life. Ya Allah, oh Allah, be with me all the way. Day by day passes, and I think that my time could be near. So I pray, oh God, let this world be in my hands and not in my heart, 'cause soon I'll have to leave it, 'cause soon I'll have to leave it. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, oh Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, ya Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you by my side. I wish to be close to you throughout my life. Ya Allah, oh Allah, be with me all the way. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, ya Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you by my side. I wish to be close to you throughout my life. Ya Allah, oh Allah.
You were just listening to Maher Zain, Guide Me All the Way. Today, this show will be focusing on distress, worry, and anxiety due to the current situation, and think about ways which we can help ourselves feeling emotionally well. You will hear later in the show from a fellow cognitive behaviour therapist who will focus on some of the concerns that people from ethnic minority communities may have, especially when we read and hear about more people within these communities becoming ill due to COVID-19. Some of us have also been personally affected by this and have had to endure some very distressing situations. People have had to watch their loved ones deteriorate and then burying their loved ones in surreal circumstances. One can't imagine the full extent of hurt and pain and distress our fellow community members may be experiencing, and my heart goes out to all of them. Others have lost family members not due to COVID-19, but similar limited funeral rules have applied. And again, it is a situation which is surreal. People have been unable to console one another as they usually would. People have not been able to grieve in the way they usually would. Not being able to hug and be with your families during this time is affecting many, and most of us are turning to our phones to pay our respects, which again is very different to what we would usually do. We are all in this public health crisis together, with most of us worrying and wondering if we will be affected by the virus. This is a normal worry. If you have any questions that you would like to ask my guest later on in the show, Saika, about your worry or other mental health concerns, please message it now, and we can put some of these questions to her. You can also WhatsApp message the show on 077 440 420 432. Now, following on from a message or call that I received yesterday, we also understand that some parents are feeling anxious around having to teach their children to help reduce this worry. It may be helpful to stick to the basics. Now, reading every day, practicing their times tables or spellings, I don't think parents are expected to be teachers, especially when many of us are working from home or do not have the level of education to help our children with their education. Although online sessions are being provided, especially for some older children, we need to remember that this is not easy for anyone, especially the children accessing the services independently. I think it's important for us all to recognise that we are studying in ways that we did not expect, and it can be very difficult. It is important to try and get support from your individual educational institutes if possible. Now, most schools are also offering extra online support for parents. Connect with your school and ask for this support. I don't think teachers intend to overburden parents in this immensely stressful time. Let me remind you of our guest that will be joining us to the show in a short while. Saika Naz, a CBT therapist, will be here to talk to you about mental health. You can message into the show with your questions on WhatsApp. Excuse me. On 077 440 420 432. I think it's time for a nasheed, and I'm going to play Hasbi Rabbi by Sami Yusuf. See, you'll hear me on the other side. Enjoy.
Oh Allah the Almighty, Allahu Allah, protect me and guide me, Allahu Allah, oh to your love and mercy, Allahu Allah, Ya Allah don't deprive me, Allahu Allah, from beholding your beauty, Allahu Allah, oh my Lord, accept this plea. Allahu Allah, Hasbi Rabbi Jallallah. Allahu Allah, ma fi qalbi ghayr Allah. Allahu Allah, ala al-hadi sallallahu. Allahu Allah, la ilaha illallah. Allahu Allah, wo tanha kaun hai? Allahu Allah, बादशाह वो कौन है? अल्लाहु अल्लाह, मेहरबा वो कौन है? अल्लाहु अल्लाह, क्या ऊंची शान है? अल्लाहु अल्लाह, उसकी सब निशान है? अल्लाहु अल्लाह, सब दिलों की जान है? अल्लाहु अल्लाह, हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह. अल्लाहु अल्लाह, Allahu Allah, alemin padişahı. Allahu Allah, yüreklerin penahı. Allahu Allah, İşit Allah derdimi bu ahlarını. Rahmeyle bağışla günahlarını. Hayreyle hem akşam hem sabahlarını. Hasbi Rabbi Jallallah. Allahu Allah, ma fi qalbi gayrullah. Allahu Allah, ala al-hadi sallallahu. Allahu Allah, la ilaha illallah. Allahu Allah, ya Rabbal alemin. Allahu Allah, salli ala Taha'l amin. Allahu Allah, fi kulli waqtin wa hin. Allahu Allah, imla qalbi bil yaqin. Allahu Allah, thabbitni ala hadha ad-din. Allahu Allah, waghfir li wal muslimin. Allahu Allah, hasbi rabbi jallallah. Allahu Allah, ma fi qalbi ghayrullah. Allahu Allah, ala al-hadi sallallahu. Allahu Allah, la ilaha illallah. Allahu Allah.
You're listening to atiyah on Ramadan Radio Wolverhampton 87.9 FM. You can also hear us online, www.ramadanradiowolves.com. It's time to bring in Maliha and Juwaria, who have received great feedback for their participation in yesterday's show, with family, community members, and the madrasa teachers getting in touch. MashaAllah. How are you today, girls?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I'm well, alhamdulillah, and I'm fasting today. I'm feeling
mashallah.
good about it, alhamdulillah.
Okay, Maliha?
Assalamu alaikum, and I've kept all my fasts so far and hoping to keep the rest, so I'm
Okay.
feeling good. Jazakallah.
MashaAllah. It's important to get your voice in talking when we're talking about worry. There's also young people around us that will be taking on some of the worry from their parents, listening to their parents talking, listening to them watching the news, as they were talking about in Loose Women earlier. So we're focusing on worry and how we can manage our worry. Can you two recall times when you've been worried and what you did to help yourself in the past before the COVID situation? Let's talk about before COVID situation.
Well,
Maliha.
before COVID, my year sixes would have to complete an exam called SATs, and this was like a very big exam. It would go to our secondary school grades, and it would like determine what sets you'd get into.
Okay.
And as many year sixes, I'm sure they would get very anxious and worried about it because it is a big exam.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was something you were worried about.
Yes.
What did you do to help yourself in that situation?
Well, at the same time as scheduled revising, I would go out and have fun and just like let loose a bit.
Okay. So factoring in some relaxing things into your day, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Excellent. Joaria, is there anything you want to add?
I was nervous about SATs as well, but mock tests helped me feel less worried.
Okay.
But I also remember about 2 ladybugs that were in our room, and we could tell they were poisonous because of their colour.
You could tell they were poisonous.
Yeah.
What colour were they then?
Dark yellow.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if I've heard of poisonous ladybugs, but all right.
And I couldn't sleep because I was worried about it.
Okay.
To change
Yeah.
how I felt,
Did you not get rid of the ladybug first?
yeah, my dad took them out.
Okay.
To change, because I couldn't go to sleep, I felt less worried. To make me feel less worried,
Yeah.
I read a dua
Uh-huh.
and thought of a story, and I did some mindfulness colouring and then fell asleep.
Ah, mindfulness colouring. What's that?
So basically, you can either draw it, so you can draw like flowers and loads of flowers and then colour them in,
Okay.
and then it'll help you feel less
Worried?
worried.
Ah, so the colouring takes your mind off your previous thoughts, perhaps. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And you're able to relax a bit more. So,
Yes.
were you able to sleep?
After the mindfulness,
Yeah.
yes,
after that?
I fell asleep after a few minutes.
Okay. Now, what about during this lockdown situation? What worries do you have, and how are you trying to remain positive? Shall we start with Maliha?
Well, as many children are worried, like, when are we going to go back to school? How long will this lockdown end? But we have to also get our mind off this and something,
Okay. So, what is it that you're worried about specifically?
well, just I'm worried about not going to school because it's the first time that the whole world has become like in a situation like this
Yeah.
when we're all in a lockdown.
Yeah. Okay, so you're worried that you're not at school, and you're worried about not going to school in the future. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. So, have you had conversations with anyone about this?
Well, yes, my mother and my parents and my friends, we've talked about it and
Okay.
we've like had to like just think about our thoughts.
Yeah. So, are you aware that the situation will, inshallah, end soon?
Inshallah, if we pray the dua and we will realize Salah.
Inshallah. Okay. So, what else, Joanna, do you want to add to that? Is there anything that you'd be worried about during the lockdown situation?
I'm worried about my grandparents, Abuji and Omiji, and my dada boy and daddy and me, and I hope they can stay safe and well during this time, and hopefully never, inshallah, get it. And I'm worried about not seeing my friends from junior school again because we will all be going to high school if the lockdown doesn't finish soon.
So you'll all be going to high school, and are you all not going to the same schools then?
Yeah, we're not going to the same schools, but I'm keeping positive and talking to my mum and aunties about how I feel, and inshallah things will be better soon and back to normal, inshallah.
Inshallah. And that's good because we need to try and keep positive. That will help us feel better and enable us to kind of enjoy this time that we have at home. We've been put in this predicament by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this difficult test. So what can we do to try and keep ourselves well and happy?
Well, only go out for essential needs, and as the Prime Minister said, only go out once a day for your walking and cycling.
Okay, so has walking or cycling helped you?
Yes, it's made me feel less worried about it.
Okay. Anything else, Malia, you want to add? What have you been doing to try and remain positive?
Well, something that me and my sisters have taken up is gardening, which is a good hobby that that you could consider doing.
Okay. That sounds interesting. And we haven't had much rain for gardening, have we?
No, but we use the hose pipe to water our plants.
Thought so. Okay. So many children are in a similar situation. Have any of your friends been talking about feeling like this in terms of the worry around school or whether it'll start again, or their grandparents? Do you feel that other people are worried?
Yes, because I have one of my friend's phone numbers. We've been phoning each other for a little bit, and she said, "Oh, like, are we going to go to school yet or not?"
Okay, so people are worried about going back to school.
Yeah.
And you mentioned grandparents, so meeting your grandparents is limited.
Yes, we can either just wave at them when we give them food and stuff.
Well, what I do have is a third guest today, and my third guest is going to say a few words about how she meets her grandparents. So, at the moment, you're not able to meet your grandparents, are you, Hannah Asif?
No.
Okay. So, how do you see them when you do see them?
I feel happy
You feel-
because Uppity, he always buys me sweeties.
Okay, so
And Nanny Dan always makes me butter.
so may Allah keep all of our